Hi, I'm Dianemarie Collins, and you have entered the DM Zone. Recently, the DM Zone traveled to New York City, road trip, and we were able to visit with author Laura Kaye. Recently, her book, One Night with a Hero, made her a New York Times and USA Today Bestselling author. She also has a couple of other books that we are talking about, North of Need and West of Want. Let's watch the video together, shall we? Hi, I'm Dianemarie Collins, and you have entered the DM Zone. My guest today is author Laura Kaye. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited about having you there. Let's talk about what is that first spark that starts a story for you.
It's always a character, and in fact, it's always the hero. I have lots of hot, sexy men running around in my head, and it's so much fun. Yes.
I love that. Tell me, which one is running around there right now?
Right now would be the hero of my newest book, a hot, sexy military hero named Brady Scott. He's the hero of my One Night with a Hero book, and he is just a bad guy with a great heart.
Aww. What's the most thrilling, the one exciting thing when you first start writing a book?
It's meeting the characters and getting to figure out who they are. It's the characters that come to me first, and I don't plot my stories out beforehand, so it's a whole process of discovery for me, almost like the kind of thing that the reader gets when they read the book.
That's pretty exciting. What about your Greek gods that you've got going?
They have been so much fun to write. A series based on 4 brothers, each controlling a particular wind and a particular season. And I'm kind of a weather nerd, so I think that that's a lot of fun. And they're hot and they're sexy and they have a great mythology. It's been a fun series. It's called The Hearts of the Dianemarie.
How do you determine a location?
Most of the time I pick locations that I know. I love to incorporate those kinds of little details that only a native person or someone who spent a lot of time in a place can incorporate. So in North of Need, for example, they go to the Wisp ski resort and they have a whole scene there that is just so much fun and so sexy, and that was just a little local detail that brought that local flavor into the story.
That's pretty exciting. Now, have you been to all the places that you write about?
I've been to most of the places that I write about. In West of Want, which is the most recent book, it's set in my hometown, and so there are scenes at restaurants that I love, there are little excursions that they do that I've been on and love, and it's so much fun to bring that in and then to think that people will look for those spots and wonder, hey, Zeph was there, you know, and I love that.
You write paranormal. How did that happen?
I grew up in a family that believed in it, that believed in ghosts, that believed in evil-eye curses, that believed in angels, and we used to gather around my grandmother's kitchen table on Friday night and have a big Italian dinner and tell these ghost stories. So it was natural for me as a reader to be interested in supernatural stories, and so it was natural for me as a writer to write those kinds of stories as well.
You're a history professor. Tell me how that all fits into paranormal.
I am a history professor. I teach American history at the United States Naval Academy. And the connection for me is a lifetime of writing and research. It's the same skill set that I bring to writing fiction. And there's a connection too for me between mythology and history. It's not exactly the same thing, but there's enough similarity there in the kinds of stories you're telling and in the kinds of research that you're doing. And so it's a fun way for me to tie those things together.
2 loves at one time.
Absolutely.
Which writers would you say influenced you as an author?
I would have to say both J.R. Ward, who is the author of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, and Sherilyn Kenyon, who's the author of the Dark Hunter series. I feel that I've learned most of what I know about writing the male point of view and strong, sexy men from being a huge fan of their series, both of them.
Well, your characters, your men, are strong and they are sexy. What is on the horizon for Laura Kaye?
I am working on the next book in the Dianemarie series. It's called South of Surrender, and it comes out in 2013. And I'm also finishing up the finishing touches on One Night with a Hero, which is a story about a strong, sexy military hero that comes out in October.
That sounds exciting. If fans want to reach you, how do they get a hold of you?
I'm available all over the web, but the best place to find me is at my website, which is laurakayeauthor.com.
Excellent. Thanks so much for visiting with me.
Thanks for having me. I'm Laura Kaye, and I want to give a big thank you to all my fans out there. You guys are the absolute best. Keep coming back for all my sexy heroes, and I'll keep writing them for you. Thanks.
Oh, and that was so much fun. Laura Kaye is published by Entangled Publishing, so when you go to the bookstore, look for her. She is a red-hot selling author. Thanks so much, and you have been in the DM Zone. Come back soon.